How do you build a golf course? Where do you begin? What do you look for? How many courses are out there simply waiting to be discovered? How do you shape, forge, and build a golf course that complements the land you've been entrusted with? This is the story of uncovering one of those places. A journey to create something unique for the game of golf. The building of a dream started long ago. This is the story of Tepetonka.
We're about 100 miles west of the Twin Cities. Happens to be a town where I grew up, New London, Spicer. Our family moved here back in 1965. My dad was the superintendent of schools, and he had 6 kids. My mom was at home with us while Dad was doing the work, and also thought it would be a good idea to start a golf course after he got here, which became Little Crow Golf Club. So it opened when I was 12, and almost all I did every day, all day, was play golf at Little Crow, and was so blessed to grow up in this area. 4 years ago, Mike Schultz and I took a group down to Sand Hills in Nebraska, the preeminent of the private destination golf clubs. It was my first trip there. Mike was a founding member, and I'd worked for Schultz in his first 2 years at Hazeltine, so our history goes back to the mid-'70s. And as we were talking, we said, how is it that Minnesota doesn't have any private golf destination? And it's almost like a horseshoe surrounding Minnesota. We've got Wisconsin, Iowa, South Dakota, of course Nebraska, with multiple, but no private destinations here. So when Mike Schultz and I decided to start looking, the first person I called actually was Judd Dunnick from Dunnick Golf. They build so many golf courses, they're nationwide, and the first one they'd ever done was Little Crow. So this is home base to Dunnick. And so we started looking. We went as far east as Eau Claire, within a couple-hour proximity of the Twin Cities. We went as far north as Brainerd, as far west as the South Dakota border, and looked a little bit in this area, but it didn't seem, this is pretty rich dirt in this area, and you're not looking for the black dirt. You're looking for something that's got a different type of topography. And one morning when I was waiting to go play 9 holes of golf with my mother, it was May the 22nd of 2021, I took a drive down a county road where we had gone pheasant hunting when I was in high school. And I looked out my window to the left, and I saw this ravine with a creek at the bottom and this huge hill going almost seems straight up with tons of cedar trees, which is the first tip that says probably not black dirt. There was a gravel road ahead. I took a left on the gravel road. There was a dead end sign, and I kept going. And I went less than a half a mile down the road. I looked to my left. I got out of the car, and I said, there it is. When I first saw then the site from the eye, it was like, wow, that is a gorgeous rolling hills, and clearly had some significant elevation change. The hunting app tells you how big the parcel is. I saw 188 acres, to which I thought, pretty darn good start. You need a minimum of 150 acres for 18 holes, but if you're doing destination golf, you probably want closer to 200. So we wound up then ultimately being able to put that land under contract and acquiring another total of 40 acres. So we have 228 acres that all fits together like a glove, with a gorgeous Shakopee Creek running through the middle. And as the design team has said, we literally have 3 different topographies on one site, and you'll go from one to the other on your journey. So it was really fun to get the feedback from multiple leading designers around the country and then ultimately around the world before we settled on OCM. The most fun part is watching the people respond to what it is that we're doing. You don't know, even when you're putting the first piece of the puzzle together, how is it going to be received? To see people who have been around Minnesota golf their whole life and say, wow, this is going to be something special for a long, long time. It couldn't give me a better feeling in terms of that response. There's also that local element again. It was almost 50 years ago that I left Midland and Spicer after graduating from high school. It's 2 generations ago. And to see the community impact that we're making already, and we know that will be a significant, certainly economic impact, but there's this Shakopee Creek, this incredible watershed opportunity we have where they've got big problems, and we're here to help that. So it's good for us, and it's good for the all the environment and the things that we're doing here. We're going to have fun for a long, long time at Tepetonka.